impact that it may in fact have if it is successful. So can you let us know, Natalie, what do you think as being the biggest concern if something like the Great Forest National Park is actually implemented? What's the biggest concern that you would see you face?
From a business point of view, our traffic that comes through and stops in for lunch, has tea on the way home, just that general flow through of traffic would stop, whether they're stopping here for visiting family and friends or anything. Generally they're coming through to their campsite or to the places where they're going to trail ride or with either horses or motorbikes or four-wheel drives. They come through, they stop, they have lunch, they carry on. We won't see any of that anymore.
Yeah. So with the whole thing, the government says it was it consulted well with the community. So were you consulted as a business in NEERIM South at any point about this proposal? And if not, when did you first hear about it?
No, as a business, no, we weren't consulted about it at all. The first I heard of it was actually through my lapidary club that I'm in, and the fact that we might lose access to even fossick within the bushes and the out sort of areas around this way. That was probably the first I heard of how we were going to not be able to access that anymore.
Yeah, okay. And so from your experiences, how long have you been in business and what have you seen happen to small communities over even the last decade?
So, I mean, obviously the pub's been here for quite a long time. I haven't been here for as long as the pub, but in the time that I've been here, even with all the COVID issues that went on, which will be a very similar idea as to how and what we will look like not having the people flow through, businesses were just unable to sustain themselves, having the traffic come through to the snow even, because that's another contribute that we have. Without that, everything was slow. People struggled to keep the doors open, and I think that's a good indication of just how it will show us what the lack of flow through traffic and visitors and travel to this area will give us.
Yeah, okay. So having experienced that before, you can see that the potential is quite devastating to small towns and to businesses.
Yeah, it was almost like a little taste of exactly what it would be, and it was not great for businesses, particularly in this area.
Yeah, not too. And so of all the different kind of bush users that you see, who do you see as the most popular that might call into places like pubs on the way, like the...
Your camping, even your family groups that camp down towards Newgie and out that way, they'll often stop in for lunch on their way, or they may even, call in for dinner as they're heading home. We see a lot of trail bike riders that come in and they have their lunch after they've been out playing in the mud. Generally the day trippers or the weekend visitors that we have sort of from down Melbourne way are the ones I see a lot. Out this way.
Yeah, fantastic. So there's this idea that if we lock up the bush, somehow we'll protect it. A lot of people who live in the city think that's real, but those of us living in the country probably have a very different perspective of what does it really mean to look after the bush.
I think part of the issue with that is that if you don't have people out there to see what's going on, you can't monitor how it's going out there. You can lock something up, but it's like an animal. If you lock it in a paddock and you don't check on it, anything could happen. Bush is a bit the same. When you've got people out there, you've got people to see what's going on and to make sure tracks or there's issues out there. I feel like not having people out there to see what's going on could also cause its own sense of issue, not being checked on or reported back things that are going on. And also, you've got your fire hazards. The tracks aren't being cleared by people that go out on weekends. Just in general, that there's no one out there seeing what's really going on.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. And with the timber industry closing or having now closed, what sort of, and if you think this is another, like we've lost the timber industry, but then we could also lose the bush users. You know, for towns like NEERIM South and your business, what's left?
Basically, people who just want to go out on a day trip and just have a look at what's around, but there's only so many people that actually come out this way just for a drive. They actually come out for purpose. They come out to utilise the bush areas, to camp, to do the tourist thing, the trail walking, all those things they come out to do. But without that through traffic and those people coming out actually having purpose to come, I just don't think that we'll get any of that business through here.
Now, so the government has this great promise that they're going to throw millions of dollars into these small communities that are going to be affected negatively by the closure of the forests. How real is ecotourism for you in terms of your business and the impact that could possibly provide for you?
Just like anything, there will be an end date to something like that. So while short term it will help prop businesses up, as a long term answer, I just don't think it can sustain itself forever. So I think as a short term, absolutely it could, but long term it's not viable.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much, Natalie. So everybody, if you're out NEERIM South Way, call into the pub, have a beer, have a meal, say hi to Natalie and the team here. Thank you.